Hi everyone, welcome to this week's reading. So this is the Astrology and Tarot forecast for the week of April 9 to 15th. So this week, good news is at the end of the week, Mercury is finally going direct. That will be on Sunday. So from next week, we can start to see if you've had any issues with your technology or communication problems, misunderstandings, mistakes with emails, this and that type of thing. Vehicle issues, it's going to start to smooth out by this Sunday onwards. Next thing is this week we also have, towards the end of the week actually, Venus making a nice sextile to Neptune. So Venus in Taurus, which is the home placement for Venus. Venus is very well expressed in Taurus, well placed in Taurus, is sextile with Neptune in Pisces, also in its home sign. So with this energy around Friday and Saturday, what you can expect is feelings of compassion, understanding, maybe where there were issues in a relationship that you struggle to understand. You may have more understanding due to having a connection to your intuition more while this energy is present, because with Venus sextile Neptune, we can access our intuition much more strongly. Also, you may, if you're a creative person, this is really good for creativity. If you're a spiritual person or you do psychic work, also excellent for that. Also, if you're someone that pays attention to your dreams, do pay attention to your dreams, particularly Friday and Saturday this week because of that aspect. You'll find that dreams can be, messages from on high. They can be messages also from your higher self or from, connections with your soul group, things like that. So it is also a very loving and compassionate energy. So it's a good day to do something for yourself or with others that has a very loving kind of enjoyable energy to it. Anything involving, being by the water would be nice. Or working on creative projects as well would also be really, really good on Friday and Saturday. Alright, the other stuff we've got this week is Jupiter sextile Pluto, 21 degrees of Jupiter in Scorpio, sextile Pluto in Capricorn. If you have 21 degrees of either earth or water in your chart, or around 20 to 22, this is a very positive energy for you right now. So this can bring in more abundance. This can bring in a feeling of, the way forward being smoothed for you in terms of things to do with luck and also your practical reality. So there can be some positive transformations for people with 21 degrees of earth or water in their chart. What else? April 15th, so the end of the week, new moon in Aries. So that's pretty big news as well, because it's a new moon and Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, so it's very much a fresh start, fresh energy coming in. 26 degrees of Aries, so if you have anything in your chart around 26 degrees of a fire sign, this is really nice for you. For Aries people, they may feel a sense of wanting to make a new start in some way or a new energy. It's very strong. So, it's a good time to do something that activates your individuality, that activates something that you want to do for yourself or your life path. And just be in the moment and feel what it is that you need to bring in. Also, letting go of things that are blocking you so that you can bring in a new energy is also a good thing for the new moon in Aries. I'm just seeing if there was anything else. And just Thursday and Friday, just something with the moon. As I've said before, I don't often mention the transiting moon aspects, just because, except if it's a new moon or a full moon, but just because the moon moves fairly quickly. But on Thursday and Friday, the moon in Pisces will conjunct with Neptune, and then a few hours after that it's going to trine with Jupiter. So around Thursday, Friday, and then going into, depending where you are, possibly Saturday morning, there's a very strong energy of strong psychic connection, telepathic connections, messages from your guides, signs, a lot of spiritual activity then. The veil is quite thin when the moon in Pisces conjuncts with Neptune in Pisces, so that's something to pay attention to. Intuitive feelings Thursday and Friday will be very strong. Okay, so listen to your intuition. And just a sort of hint of what's coming up for next week. Saturn and Pluto are both going retrograde next week, so it's an interesting slowdown and energy going within. So if you have anything that you're anything big that you want to do, hopefully you're wrapping it up this week, because starting something huge next week, although many people will be starting something huge next week because they just will be, because it's life, how it goes, it might be a bit slower to manifest because of Saturn going retro and Pluto as well. But I'll talk about that next week. Also, Sun's going to Taurus next week. So if that's next week, let's look at the cards for this week. Excuse me. And see what we've got. So the cards I'm using today are the Witch's Tarot, one of my favourite decks. Okay, so I want this one. And this one. All right. First card, King of Swords. Oops, followed by the Knight of Cups. Interesting. And the Temperance card. Wow. Okay. So the messages this week are some kind of communication from a male energy here. We have two men in this reading. One is an air sign and one is a water sign potentially. Or you're either dealing with two different people this week, or it's two aspects of the one individual. So it could be someone with an air rising or an air sun and then a watery moon perhaps, or that's one way I could read this. Another way is, I'm getting interesting. Sorry, I have to stop that because I've got a psychic feeling here. There's sort of a sense of, I want to say like a bit of a stormy energy with the clouds here. There could be somebody in your life that you're dealing with, most likely a male, that is going through a difficult time. They may come towards you or, you know, come forward to you or be really thinking about you in some way, but their emotions are very in a difficult place right now, okay? Because I'm really drawn to these clouds and it's like a storm is about to brew. That's what I'm picking up on. And it's saying that if you are dealing with someone like this, especially if you're a female dealing with a male like this, you need a lot of balance to balance out the intensity of the emotions here. So, you know, it could be anybody in your life. It could be, you know, a husband. It could be a relative, a brother or a father, and you may also not necessarily be female, but it's saying here that you have more balance in yourself at this time, that you have the ability to deal with the conflicting energy of this person to balance out the energy. So it could be a work colleague, it could be somebody, you know, Mercury is still retrograde, so it could be someone from the past, someone that you've known communicating with you. You know, I also get here that they could seem a bit blunt on the outside, but deep down they're hurting. They're very emotional. And, you know, the Knight of Cups sometimes is also a romantic energy coming forward to you from somebody. And there might be that energy with it, but in this case I feel this person's just very emotional. That's what I'm getting. And as you know, the Temperance is all about balancing out emotions, balancing out situations, being careful as well with how you react. And I'm just going to see if there's any other messages for people. I just heard father, so there's something to do with father issues here. Now, whether it's this person has issues with their own father and that's something that they're on their soul contract they're trying to deal with, which is not easy for them, but alternatively it could be a father issue that you have, you know, if you're watching this. So I'm also getting husband father is what I'm hearing. So for some people it's a husband figure, or you may be, you know, the husband yourself and you're needing to deal with your own emotional issues. So there's many different, as this is a general reading, there's many different ways that I can read it because there's so many different people watching. So that's why I get the multiple messages. But you could be a husband figure and you're trying to connect with somebody, you know, most likely your partner, but you need to have balance in approaching them because of difficulty, you know, emotionally for either one or both of you. So it definitely feels like there's, look, overall a relationship connection here. It's a relationship energy here for this week. Keep in mind that this week Mercury is still retrograde. It is going direct at the end of the week, but it's still retrograde. So again, there's this feeling of, you know, incomplete communications, difficulties with communications, trying to be heard on a more emotional level, but maybe it's coming across blunt because, you know, King of Swords can be quite blunt. It's an air sign energy. It's very logical, but it tends to not sort of factor in people's feelings. Though this energy here is more sensitive, it's like the person's more concerned about their own emotions and managing those. So the advice with the Temperance card is always balance. Let's have a look at I've got the Indigo Angel Oracle for one Oracle card this week. So yeah, I don't know, it's interesting. I feel like there's tension in the air this week, and you know, the moon does make some harsh aspects during the week until it gets to the end of the week where it conjuncts with Neptune, which is softer energy. But it could be still the energy coming off of the Mars Saturn conjunction, which we've just come off from. That energy could still be kind of leaving us feeling a bit, maybe we're still reeling a little bit from something that happened in the last week or two. So we're feeling a bit raw, which is why the relationship issues are coming into focus. Okay, let's see. I just want one card from the Indigo Angel Oracle. Something here is getting my attention. Oh, I like that. Okay, release. Woo! Oh, it's funny. Maybe we're having trouble releasing and relaxing because it just flipped itself back into the deck. That's the impression I got with that. So release and relax is really, you know, talking about maybe we've been holding on too tight to a situation, being too uptight. You know, I just want to mention something actually that next month, May 15th, and I'm going to do a video about this on my other channel, which is just called Starlight Oracle. I'll be doing this video soon about Uranus moving into Taurus. This is major news astrologically. Uranus changes signs every 7 years. The reason I'm mentioning that is because if you have any fixed energy in your chart, Uranus in Taurus is going to activate your life in some way, especially if you're a Taurus or a Scorpio, or you've got those placements very strong in your chart. And it can really rev us up with this sort of higher, intense energy that makes us feel restless, agitated, while it changes. You know, Uranus makes a lot of changes in the physical body and psychologically and in one's life. So it could be, you know, talking about we're having trouble releasing and relaxing at this time around our life situation. This is a message to just focus on the simple things that are in front of you right now, and also relates to the new moon in Aries as well. Focus on the moment and just release everything that is something that you just can't control right now. So it's about psychologically unburdening yourself, I feel, because I get very strong activation in the mind and the head. So it's about overthinking and maybe obsessing or just worrying or thinking too much. So this message is very clear. Try to relax yourself this week. Take time out for you to do nice things for yourself, to just look after yourself. And, you know, it sounds cliche to say, but work on self-love is actually a very real thing. If we don't take care of ourselves internally, like looking at our emotions, you know, relaxing into ourselves, connecting with our inner heart, then it really causes a lot of dysfunction. And so that's why people say, you know, self-nurturing, it's an important thing. Anyway, so this week, take that time out to relax and self-nurture. And if you'd like a private reading, do follow the link below to my online store. Be aware though, I'm really busy at the moment, so it is a little bit of a wait. At least 7 business days, 7 to 12, 13 or 14 business days to get your reading back from me. Thanks everybody, and have a really great week. Bye for now.